What's up, guys? Welcome back to another Texas Young Guns video, and in this video we're going to review another RV park. We stayed in the End Park and Campground in Morgan City, Louisiana.
Yeah, we were there early June, and we just so happened to be going to that town for a little family get-together in Louisiana. And this was actually, although we were the Texas Young Guns and we're very close to Louisiana, this was our first time to stay in a park in the state of Louisiana.
Yeah, we got to add a sticker to our little RV map there.
Yeah, we were pretty excited about that. I think that was an afterthought too, like, oh, because it's very close, Louisiana, we can get there in about 45 minutes, and it's just kind of, they're our neighbors, but...
Well, the good thing is we live in southeast Texas, farther east and south, so we get a little bit of that Cajun flavor over here at home, so we're not strangers to the Cajun lifestyle.
Nope. Although when you go to this campground, if you are not from, southeast Texas or Louisiana, you will be very surprised with that Cajun accent that they have.
Yeah, and lots of purple and gold, which
yes.
You Cajuns who are watching this video, you know what I'm talking about.
Yes, as a matter of fact, we have a lot of Aggie gear, and I was a little leery about putting my maroon and white stuff out in purple and gold territory.
Well, I don't think they cared enough to steal it. I think if it was purple or gold, maybe.
Yeah, I think if maybe we were there directly after the season of the 7 overtimes, it would have been a different story, but,
Yeah, they kind of won a championship recently, so.
Yeah, they got bragging rights.
So if you noticed earlier, I called it the End Park and Campground. So you find out pretty quickly when you arrive here that this park is not just an RV park. There are several things to do there, several different aspects of this park besides just RVs. So you have the RVs, which was us. You have boat docks, storage boat docks or permanent, there's houseboats there. Mm-hmm. And then you had kind of a day use kind of flavor of the park, people who are coming just to have family get-togethers. You're in Louisiana because they had designated like boil areas for like crawfish or crab or whatever, which I think
I think they boil everything. So. they have this phrase of just throw it in the pot. So.
Yeah, it was just kind of funny to see like designated boiling areas, in a park. But and also it's important to note that this park has 2 distinct areas. So there's kind of a quiet area, and then there's the area where everybody stays if you're planning on doing a lot of activities, hanging out with family. Now, the main park, I would say, probably what they started out with, because I think where we stayed is a recent addition from what we understand.
Yeah, I think it was, they built it after one of the storms, and there was like FEMA trailers and stuff that needed to be brought in. Mm-hmm. I think because it's about an hour and a half away from New Orleans, so probably with, one of the major storms like Katrina or something, and they built this area for like FEMA to come in.
Yeah, no, we stayed in the newer part. So it was a little quieter, wasn't as many people.
No trees.
Yeah, no trees. I think they had maybe planted some or were thinking about it, but it was pretty much brand new, you could tell. But the main part, tons of trees, and what was awesome about it was the beautiful moss of the trees.
And they're like super tall trees, you know. It's different than, I believe they're cypress trees, and they were just very tall and had the moss all hanging from them. Like I was running through the moss and pretending like I was in the jungle. But I think it's kind of like a trade-off as to what part of the park you want to stay in, because we stayed in the more quieter, there were no trees, but we had a great lake view.
Yeah, but it was summer, and so the no trees was kind of a bummer because our RV was doing everything it could with our 2 ACs to keep up with the heat. So I think there's a big advantage if you stay in the main part, because you get all that tree cover, and you're right there kind of in the mix of things.
If that's your thing, I mean, if you're traveling with a family and you don't mind, it's a pretty crowded park from what I understand. It's always really like booked up in the summer. Yeah,
because we went in the middle of COVID. In fact, right now COVID's still going on, as all of you know, unfortunately. And the park was still, I would say, packed. So I can't even imagine how crowded that park is when it's, no COVID.
Yeah, but it was, everyone there is super friendly and super nice. I think it's just kind of what you're looking for. Are you looking for something that's a little bit quieter, away from everyone, with the water views, or are you and then you're willing to have no trees, or do you want to be kind of in the heart and the hustle and bustle of everything with the trees, maybe lacking that water view? It's just something to think about when you're booking. The good thing is you can get on to their website, which I'm sure we can link below, and you can kind of look at the map and the areas that you want to stay.
Yeah, the only thing I would caution you when you're booking this place, by the way, we highly recommend this place, is a lot of the sites in the main park are pretty short. In fact, there were several motorhomes. I think the spots are advertised probably for a little longer than what I would recommend. So there was a lot of motorhomes that you could tell were squeezed into the spots. A lot of the spots weren't exactly level. In fact, some of them were way out of level. So just make sure that you're careful with that. I'm not saying don't book some of these spots. Most of them are perfect and you'll be just fine.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying, be careful, look at pictures, that kind of thing.
Now, we kind of talked about how we were here for a family event, and it just so happened that, honestly, I had no idea about Morgan City, Louisiana. I went to when I was in high school, I graduated with a girl who moved here from Morgan City, Louisiana, and that was about all I knew. But I just Googled it, and it happened to be the first thing that popped up. So I really had no expectations or low expectations for the park. It was just a place to lay our head that we needed to be at, right? Mm-hmm. But once we got there, we were so surprised with everything there was to do there. There was a great walking trail. I think it was about 1.5 miles.
Beautiful walking trail.
And it's an easy, just casual, it's a walking pace. It's under the trees. Even though we were there in the heart of summer, it wasn't a miserable walk, and it literally takes you all the way around the park. So it takes you along the lake, and it takes you along the little swim beach that they have, there was a lot of people out swimming in the lakes. It took you by the houseboats and the marina, and there were people out fishing, and it just circles away around all kind of in that swampy area that you find in Louisiana. So it has a lot of amenities, really. So we were pleasantly surprised with everything there was to do there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we weren't really there long enough to enjoy the beach and stuff. We just kind of checked it out, but it was kind of neat. It's a beach on a lake kind of a vibe. So honestly, the only thing that really sucked about the park wasn't the park at all. It was getting to it. So if you come from the north or the west, most likely you're going to be going down Highway 90. Oh my God, talk about a horrible freeway. I think that freeway is a legend in Louisiana. Everybody knows how bad it is. It's very unlevel highway. You're hitting bumps every 10 feet, and that's not an exaggeration. Literally every 10 feet. It's if I told everybody who was in the RV with us that if we had any loose screws or bolts, not anymore, because they're now on the freeway.
Yes, it was very, very bumpy.
Horrible drive.
But I mean, that's kind of what Louisiana is known for. So yeah, you kind of expect that, but it isn't a fun drive.
No, not at all.
So when you pull up to the campground, I don't know if maybe this is just because we're coming from the Texas state parks and the national parks. We've never really stayed at any other, I don't know what they call them, parish parks. I don't know. I don't know what they call them in Louisiana.
Instead of county, parish?
Yeah, but another, I guess, how they do their parks there. But it was a little confusing to figure out where to go. They have little signs. I wouldn't say it's confusing. You just really have to be aware of what the signs say. It's
a tight turn in there, I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
We have a 39-foot motorhome, and it was some tight turns in there. I'll just say that.
But once we found, as soon as you enter, you're going to turn to the right, and there's going to be the check-in station. As soon as you go in, the people are super friendly, really nice staff there, and they're going to give you a map, and they're going to show you just where to go. They'll highlight everything and show you to your site, and you'll get to kind of see all the things that we're talking about as soon as you drive in. But that was just the only thing, is it's a little confusing to find the check-in location, I would say.
Yeah, and just one last thing to note, these sites are going to be gravel. I don't remember if I said that earlier. So just note that you'll probably want to bring some kind of plywood or jack stands, jack supports, I guess, because you don't want to be sinking into the ground. It is 50 amp and 30 amp sites, so that's good. Water pressure is great. So really just a couple of last things to note there to get technical.
And they did not have cable, and they advertised they had Wi-Fi, but we could never hook on to it or
yeah,
use
it wasn't that great. Maybe it's because we were in the newer area,
Yeah.
so maybe a little farther away. So maybe if you were in the main area, it was better, but it's pretty typical for RV parks to not have good Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
So.
And I will say that at this RV park, where the part where we stayed, directly across from where your RV is parked, like everyone there brings boats and jet skis, and you can tell that when all the fishermen go out in the mornings and come back, there's a lot of parking available. So
yeah, that's kind of the thing to do.
Yeah.
We gathered from this park is to not only bring your RV, but have a boat in tow or a golf cart. Lots of golf carts there.
lots
So.
of purple and gold golf carts.
Yes, there was. All right, guys, just to finish it out, we highly recommend this park. We were quite surprised by how cool it was, how nice it was. So sticking to our guns, how many Texas stars are you going to give this park?
Well, it doesn't have, it's not like the big resorts that you'd stay at, like the big, holiday KOAs or anything like that, but just based on, we really like nature and just kind of being out in the elements and having different things to do and the scenery and everything, I would give it a solid 7.
Yeah, 7's a pretty good number. I agree with that. I think, I have a theory that there's two type of RVers. There's the ones that enjoy like the KOA type of parks, and there's the people that really enjoy like the state parks. And I think this particular park would bring in both. I think both types of people would
We're
enjoy
kind
it.
of both.
Yeah, we're starting to we're starting to get to where we're not so green or new anymore. So we're starting to veer more towards the state parks, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we enjoyed it. So highly recommend. But,
Yep.
Well, guys, we hope you enjoyed that video. I hope that was helpful. And if you have any questions, make sure to comment below. Remember to like and share this video. The more likes we get, the more views we'll get and more subscribers we get. So, like I said, hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye.